Hey everybody, hoping you the peace and favor of the Most High. Yeah. Today I don't wanna stay long. I just wanna do a study on Revelation 18 on Mystery Babylon.
John.
So we're gonna go.
Which way you wanna go?
By the word of Yahusha, the Mashiach, the Messiah, and we're gonna break it down. So let's go to Revelations 18.
Oh, look at this dude,
Madison, you cannot be loud. You're gonna have to get out.
No.
Well, you can't be loud.
No.
Y'all, if y'all hear my kids, they hang on, they cleave to me, so
No.
I apologize. I try to escape to my
Apologize to
car.
us, Mom.
See, that's knocked.
I apologize to what?
It don't work. No. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all.
Daddy, can you apologize?
Why would I need to apologize to y'all?
Cause you've been mean.
Okay. And so we go into Revelations 18, and it reads, and I'm in the translations of the scriptures, 2009. I find this translation really, really on point, even though some stuff I have a hard time understanding, but I just go to I use the, let me tell you what I use. I use the amplified, the C. I think it's the real kind. It's amplified, and then it's the amplified C, where it's classic edition. I apologize. I use that as a way to compare, and I use Good News Translation, which is another good source to get an understanding of some of the words, and I also use New Living Translation when I have trouble understanding how the phrases are put. And then I also go into deep study. I use Blue Letter Bible app, and I also use Bible Hub. Bible Hub, you gotta understand how to use it, because it took me a minute. I've been on and off with it, but Bible Hub is very, very helpful tool, because it goes deep into the word, and I've really been enjoying it. So that's what I do when I go to get a true understanding, because you know what our Father say. He said, in all you're getting, get understanding. So we're going to go now. And it says, and after this I saw another messenger coming down from the heaven, having great authority, and the earth was lightened from his esteem. Honor. Esteem is honor.
Need some help?
And he cried with a mighty voice, saying, Babel the Great is falling, and has become a dwelling place of demons, a haunt for every unclean spirit, and a haunt for every unclean and hatred
Now you can decorate your car.
A lot of times, animals are used as an allegory.
Which one you starting with first? The wheel?
They say it's this one
No, John, that's the wheel.
demonic entity that is like part woman, part bird. It could mean
John,
that.
look at
I'm not for sure. I still have to do get
John.
study on the hated bird
Good job.
or the dirty bird. And so
Now I'm doing the ram.
we go to verse 3. Because all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her whoring, and the sovereigns of the earth have committed whoring with her, and the merchants of the earth have become rich through the power of her righteous living. So It says here, all the nations have drunk of the wine.
And
That
now the
means
big one.
they have had a portion.
This one.
It's of the wine of the
Cool,
wrath
John,
of
look
her
how this
horn.
is.
And
Look,
that's
John.
idolatry.
John, look.
Whoring is idolatry in
Look. Look,
in
John.
Father Yah's
John.
eyes.
Look at the structure.
And the sovereigns as kings of the earth committed
No, John, you
whoring,
already got
meaning
that
idol worship
John, put
with
the
her.
stickers on.
And the merchants of the earth have become rich.
Rich.
So
I'm
when you say that, that entails a lot because
Yeah, hurry up, because I'm almost done.
I have to come back to it because
1, 2, 3, 4,
it's not
5,
revealed. I know
6.
who it is, but I
Six
want y'all to
more
get the
and
full
y'all are done.
understanding, and then we'll come back to 3.
Did I just put the...
And I heard another voice from the heavens say, "Come out of her, my people, lest you share in her sin, lest you receive her plagues." And right here, he's saying, my people,
Sticker, John?
come out of this Babylonian
Yeah, but
system.
with that sticker.
That means the everything that like the worship
Look, John.
of
Look at it.
idol worship,
John, look at the
their
wheels.
religion,
I did.
it might
John,
hit
be
nerves of
careful
some
like
people,
this.
but
Look, be careful.
this
Give me some help.
particular great Bible is the creator of all the religion practice and even Christianity
You gotta do
and
this
Islam
one. No, I just have
and
This is what
Judaism
I'm doing. Look.
is not
Whoa, good
a
job.
religion that was
Dude, why did you copy me?
by the true righteous
I
walking
can't see
Hebrew
John,
Israelites.
What you doing?
So
Oh, John, it goes on
we
here, the front wheel.
never Judaism is
Front.
not something that we practice,
Like this,
as
John,
an
like
Israelite.
this.
period. You have the Talmud, which was man-made things that was made up started by
There we
the
go.
foul elders from a long
Yeah.
time ago, and it went on down from when the Babylonian,
Okay,
the
there
first
we go.
Babylonian
Look, John, my car do. Sweet.
exile happened, the captivity happened, and they
I
picked up a lot of the Babylonian ways,
Wow.
and when they got out of that captivity, the Pharisees, I mean the people who also adopted titles, brought that back to the land, and so you have had generations of those that have picked up those man-made
Yeah, I'm waiting
traditions
on you.
that they
'Cause
practice,
look,
and
John, I
then
got none.
also the
I only need 3 more.
imposter
So this
imposters
one,
of
I'm gonna go with
Jews that
this.
inhabit
John,
the
I'm
land,
tired of waiting for you.
who claims that our
Look on this
identity.
one.
They don't.
Yeah.
They
Yes,
worship
I
the
am.
Talmud, but they
No,
also worship a Luciferian practice, and it is oh my goodness,
John,
I
you
forget the
seriously
name.
don't
It
know.
escapes me right now, but
Because this
they
is
also
bad.
practice that too, and that within itself is Babylonian because it's all worshiping Lucifer in the end. So
Yeah, which one you on?
everybody that literally everybody has took part
Sorry, John.
of this Babylonian worship, and it is just that it's the
Yeah.
situation. If you get to
Where is it?
your
Oh,
scriptures,
on there.
you will get a true understanding. So I'm not
Oh,
gonna
John, I'm
go
almost
into that.
done, like you.
Back to the word. Because her sins have piled up to reach the heaven, and Elohim
You took
has
all my
remembered her unrighteousness. Render to
that's
her
yours,
as
John.
she
This
indeed
is mine,
render,
John.
and repay her
What you
double
doing, John? This
according to
mine.
her works. So everything she did,
It's nasty.
give it back to her twice time.
Look, John. Look,
So-
mine. Look, John.
These people
John.
that we are speaking
John.
of,
Yeah. I only got
if you
6
knew
more. I mean, I only have
all
1, 2, 3.
the
I got 3 more to do.
atrocious things that they did
I'm already done, John.
in the
You're
sake
so late.
of
so late.
Jesus.
Where's your car at? Where's your car at?
It's appalling. It's appalling.
Right here.
So, in the cup which she has mixed her double. That means, when you talk about cup, that means portion.
Sorry, John. Hold up.
As much as she esteemed herself and lived righteously, so much torture and grief give to her, because in her heart she says, I sit as sovereigness, and I am not a widow, and I do not see mourning at all. So she like, I'm queen of everybody, and I don't even see myself being a widow. Being a widow means that everything's stripped from you.
Yeah, I kind of broke
that
my
you
foot.
fall completely and say she ain't gonna see mourning at all. Because of this plague, because of this, her plagues shall come in one day. Death and mourning and scarcity of food.
Yeah,
I mean, it's gonna come
it still works. See, look.
all of a sudden.
See, it's still on.
Scarcity of food is famine. Death, you know what death is. And mourning is just gonna be just a very sad moment. And she shall be burned up with fire, because Yahuwah, Elohim, who judges her, is mighty. So
awesome.
She also gonna get probably blew up by some bombs. I mean, unless the Most High gonna come and strike her down with lightning. So those are the only 2 fires I can think that really gonna be
this where it goes
significant in doing this task. And the sovereigns of the earth who committed whoring and live righteously with her shall weep and mourn over her when they see the smoke of her burning. These are your people that's enjoying to her. So let me just go ahead and say, because I'm sorry, y'all.
John, look.
Hold on, my alarm going out. And shut up. Okay, sorry about that.
Mama, that's a cuss
Madison, I'm about to put you out.
Man, that's a cuss word.
And sovereigns of the committed word. Okay. The mystery, the Great Babylon is Rome. Is the
we can put
Vatican.
This, John, we can put this
The
black
Pope-
thing anywhere.
The Pope
You put this on your on the
is
back.
king of all the kings.
Your trunk is.
They have to go to the Pope to get ordained as king.
You're my baby, my lover, my lady, all night.
My apologies. School just want to call me all of a
So why are you looking on me?
So
you trying to copy me?
So Rome is the Vatican Pope is the Great Babylon. Out of that has came all religion. Well, not all religion, but the Islam and Christianity most definitely come from the Vatican. But it's still the Babylonian worship. It's just in Christianity, what they did, they took the scriptures of our
and I can't wait for
from our ancestors from our land. And when Constantine wanted to gain control in his war, this was his strategy. He
Look, John.
used that to
You can do it.
get everybody under him. But what he did, he used our names in scripture, but he put
the black thing on there.
their pagan mighty men, mighty ones,
God, don't get that on my painting.
with the names. Like, they still worship Zeus and
Done.
all
Look,
of that. It's too much to go into.
Look, John, I'm already
they
done.
put the names
Look, John, for real, look.
of our
All your stickers
our
are all
ancestors
gone on the
to
car?
their
Yeah, because they're on the car.
mess. So
Exactly.
that's what Christianity is. And they just, I mean, and it's just
Eat your
like
chicken nuggets after you get
the
done.
adversary, Hasatan, to twist things and perverse things, because he took the words of the scriptures, and he twisted them. He twisted them, and they made the church, whoever put up church, they had to go by what they told them to tell, and that was it. So, I mean, I can only imagine what they learn at these seminaries. I can't imagine, but I'm like, what? How did y'all not see it? But you know, it's everything is spiritual. So if you're still on milk, you won't even get what I'm saying. But those that's on the meat, you got the understanding how everything is spiritual. And even these scriptures, the words, that's why you have to listen to every word that proceedeth out the Most High mouth, which is the scriptures. Okay, back to it. Standing at a distance for fear of torture, saying, woe, the great city, Babel, the mighty city, because your judgment has come in 1 hour. That means swift. It's like it just happened. Like you blink and it's like, it might be like you wake up tomorrow and it done went down and everything done happened. I mean, it ain't no process, because the way the scripture works, time is of the essence. Everything has been strategically put out in time. The end has been the end since the Mashiach went up to the heavens and opened the scroll. And that was after his resurrection over 2,000 years ago. So that has been the culminating of the end. It ain't like the end gonna happen like in 5-7 years. It's been going on. A lot of this stuff in Revelation has happened. It shocked me too, but it's true. Once you get you look into the other books,
how many I have in my box?
And
Two.
you seek the Most High, you just study, you'll learn how a lot of this has already come to pass, and it's coming. It's coming in now. It's time for it, because he said 6,000 years he will be with man. That's what he said. 6,000 years is coming on to an end. So and the servant of the I said the servants of the earth committed whoring and lived righteously with her. Shall weep and mourn for her, because you know that kills that kills their money. That everything that happened through her, the whole system falls. So I'm wondering if that's going to be part. This is just me talking. I'm wondering if that's going to be part of this financial collapse, if that's going to take place then, because it will make sense. It will make sense, because see, the money is a major part of how this beast works. Money and power is the name of the game for them. So it says, standing at a distance for fear of her torture, saying, woe, the great city Babel, the mighty city, because your judgment has come in 1 hour. And the merchants of the earth weep and mourn over her, because no one buys their merchandise anymore. Merchandise of gold. I want y'all to hear what the merchandise is. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all citron wood and every object of ivory and every object of most precious wood and bronze and iron and marble and cinnamon and incense and fragrant oil and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and cattle and sheep and horses and carriages and bodies and lives of men. Bodies and lives of men. And I go to another translation. If I go to, I can break it down in the New Living Translation. It says, so she also brought cinnamon, spice, incense, myrrh, frankincense, wine, olive oil, fine flour, wheat, cattle, sheep, horses, wagons, and bodies. That is human slaves. And we know this has been going on for a long time. This whole system that we live in, this is what they do. This is what they do. And on the Amplified, it say, of cinnamon, spice, incense, ointment, and perfume, and frankincense, of wine, and olive oil, fine flour, and wheat, of cattle and sheep, horses and conveyances, and of sleigh. And when they're saying horses and stuff, they're talking about vehicles, because you know this prophecy was made like a long time ago, over 2,000 years ago. So a lot of this stuff, they have to put a name to what they perceive it to be. So the horses and so you looking at everything that is shipped all over the world, from clothes to foods to fruits and everything that you think. This is basically it. And then even on the low, there you go. It's a horses and conveyances and of slaves, the bodies and souls of men. That was the translation of that. And the fruit of your being longed for has gone from you, and all your riches and splendor are lost to you, and you shall find them no more, not at all. Now see, I needed a little bit more understanding what that is, so I'm going to go to another translation. So we're going to start with the Amplified. The ripe fruits and delicacies for which your soul longed have gone from you, and all your luxuries and vanities, your elegance and splendor are lost to you, never again to be recovered or experienced. So all these little nice luxuries, especially people with money has always had and stuff, they it's gone. Everything, the whole system gone, the money system gone, everything. It cuts it all out. And then we go to let's go to New Livings. It say, the fancy things you loved so much are gone, they cry. All your luxuries and splendor are gone forever, never to be yours again. That's from New Living. And the Good News translation say, the merchants say to her, all the good things you longed to own have disappeared, and all your wealth and glamour are gone, and you will never find them again. And that is the translation. The merchants of those who became rich by her, and we know who got a lot of money, who sell a lot of stuff. The Jewish people, right? They got their hands on everything. So we can call them the big time merchants. So the merchant of those who became rich by her shall stand at a distance for fear of her torture, weeping and mourning. I wonder why. And saying, woe, woe, the great city that was dressed in fine linen. Notice it said city. Most High don't make no mistakes. When he talking about a whole big old land, he say nation. So he said city. He said the great city that was dressed in fine linen and purple and scarlet. And these are the attires of the Vatican. and adorned with gold and precious stones and pearls. And if you've seen any videos, or if anybody have ever had the opportunity to see the Vatican, you would really say, oh, for real, because it is really is like very elegant. I mean, in a sense, I don't want to say elegant, but they got a lot going on. They got a lot of stuff, gold and stones, and because they love the statues, and they have jewelry of all kinds. They have a lot. So for in 1 hour such great riches was laid waste, and every shipmaster and every passenger and sailors and as many as worked the sea for their living stood at a distance and cried out when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what is like this great city? And they threw dust on their heads and cried out, weeping and mourning, and saying, woe, woe, the great city, in which all who had ships on the sea became rich by her. Well, for in 1 hour she was laid waste. Rejoice over her, O heaven, and you set apart emissaries. Now, he said the heavens and the emissaries. The emissaries is who they call apostles, but they in the actual language is emissaries and prophets. For Elohim has completely avenged you on her. So Father Yah, he took revenge because of what he did, what they did to his people, his set apart. And one mighty messenger picked up a stone like a great millstone and threw it into the sea, saying, with such a rush the great city Babel shall be thrown down. Wow. And shall not be found any more at all. That was symbolic. And the sound of harpists and musicians and flautists and trumpeters shall not be heard in you anymore. I'll get back, Madison, right now.
Okay. Mom, could you give me back my tablet?
And no craftsman or any trade shall be found in you anymore at all. And the sound of a millstone shall not be heard in you anymore at all.
Now, when you hear that fire alarm,
Y'all, I live by my laws. I cannot. And I need to get going. I'm going to finish this up and then I'm going to get going. And the light of a lamp shall not shine in you anymore at all. And the voice of bridegroom and bride shall not be heard in you anymore at all. For your merchants were the great ones of the earth. Your merchants. For by your drug sorcery, all the nations was led astray. And this is an example, and that's probably more, but when they say drug sorceries, it puts me in mind with pharmacia, with the prescription drugs, a lot of the medications that they give us here and stuff. They put mercury, they put fluoride and stuff to dumb us down, to make us docile. To what it does, it petrifies your pineal gland, which is a very important part of your brain function. And what it does, it petrifies it, and it keeps you from having critical thinking. Put it like that. You go, they dumb you down, they tell you do the fluoride, brush your teeth, blah blah blah. When I was coming up in school, they gave me the swish. We had the swish every Wednesday forever. You be swimming, my jaws be tired, so they want you to have that fluoride just swishing in your mouth for a long time. I mean, and then of course they put it in your water, and
This is my town.
it's a lot that they do, but
This
also
is my
they put it
town.
in these antidepressant
This is my
pills.
town.
I don't think I know too many black folks that take these pills, but I do know that these pills cause people to start acting erratic at sometimes and stuff. But they also they make you like a zombie. Like, I have seen it.
Hey, John.
I actually thought I had
John.
postpartum depression at one time,
Hey, John.
and I took Prozac, and in 3 weeks when it kicked in, because I'm always trying to be self-aware of myself for some reason, I went into a zombie mode.
How?
Literally, y'all. I can remember it. It's like I was just
I can bite.
moving, and I remember taking my daughter to get something to eat, and I just was just drive straight up to the window at the fast food. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't know." Went home and I dumped them pills. It's not for me. I seen people that I co-work with that would be on a whole nother level of happiness. I'm like, dang, I don't know what she having and stuff. But nevertheless, they was like, they put this stuff in all kind of medicine and stuff, and then they, of course,
Keep
they're
talking back to
putting
me. I'm gonna call you some names.
things into the atmosphere that is not good for us. But a lot of stuff, they do this to us, and then they send us
Hey, John.
to school
Hey,
to
John.
indoctrinate us
What?
and tell us to
Taking the
be
point
good
off.
people, and whatever
Taking the
we
point
say
off.
is the truth. So we have been living by
Hey John, hey John,
blind
hey
faith,
John, hey John,
and
hey
the church
John,
teach you
hey
that as
John,
well.
Hey John,
And
turn the back light on. No. Yes.
if you don't question
Okay,
nothing, if nothing's saying out, you're under that spell of delusion. So that is one example I could think of when they say that.
I need that.
And, then it goes to say, and this is the last verse, and in her was found the blood of prophets and the set apart ones and all who were slain on the earth. So
There.
basically they're
John,
saying,
stop.
and we know, and if you do your due diligence in your study in history, Rome was responsible
Well, John, I don't want you to
for
do
killing
that.
the prophets.
If you do that
They
one more
was
time,
responsible for the set
Did you
apart
talk
ones,
to
which
John?
are
Talk.
the
You not hearing what?
children of
What did I
Yaakov,
just say?
the true descendants of Israel,
What did I just say?
and Yasharel. And then you have to go and think
Never
of
mind.
all the innocent lives that they have killed in the entire earth. How many lives they've killed, and they did it in the name of Christianity.
I was trying to find
I
was trying to find it for the
the Crusades and the Inquisitions is
Yeah, was it yet?
is two great examples of how they went and just killing people. And then the Ku Klux Klan was created under Christianity,
No, Jen, you
and
did
it was
baby.
also created by Albert Pike, who is buried in New York in the up there where I don't know exactly.
Oh my God.
It's in one of the buildings, but they highly esteem this guy, and he's like master mason, and he wrote the books of Morals and Dogma, and that book foretold the 3 major world wars that's gotta happen. 2 of them has happened. This one that's right here at the door, this is the 3rd one, and he explained these wars to a T. And this last one, I don't want to be the one that bear this to y'all, but this war, every war has an agenda. It's not because, oh, we're fighting for the good. It's not.
No, my
This particular
Yes,
war
I did.
is to wipe out the Christians, which is the duty of Islam. They're going to be a tool to wipe out the Christians. And then
Okay.
in retrospect with that, and it has to deal with it has to deal with a lot of this is really to wipe out all religion, because after this war it's going to bring forth the new world order, and this war is going to be so devastating that when the Antichrist do come, you're going to welcome the Antichrist, because he's going to be emulating peace and greatness and stuff, and many will be deceived by him, because this third world war is going to wear a lot of folks out. And, so I would encourage those that do not like to read Revelation and scared you. I mean, because you're scared don't mean that it's not going to happen. It's going to happen. But I would encourage you to get over that and get it and find out and get an understanding of what this means. I'ma try to.
No, you're playing.
As soon as I can get away, go over like a
I
chapter
see you playing with me.
at a time to explain. But the mystery, the great Babylon, is Rome, the Roman Pope. And he has been ruling. He is a wolf in sheep clothing, because
I'm not showing you.
I always felt weird about the Catholics, being that they worship Mary a lot and stuff, and they did a lot of stuff like chanting and doing repetitive prayer and stuff, because I don't mess with that, because most in the world they say this, and this was a long time ago, but I never would have conceived that the Pope was doing the magnitude of what he was doing. Every shot call was done by him, and it's called the papal bull. When he gives the papal bull, it gives out these laws and stuff, and these give the people who is under them. And as we know that the like France, Spain, England, Scotland, Sweden, all these European nations, these are the 10 kings under the beast. I believe it's 7, because 3 have gone. So it's 7 now, but 3 have gone. And this has went all the way back to after the Mashiach went up into the heavens, and he started opening the seal, because no one could open the seal but him. And
that wasn't me. Oh yeah, so you are.
When that first millennium came in after the Mashiach, they started getting they been ruling, so I take that back, because Rome was in the seat of things when the Messiah was actually born, because you remember Herod, he was under Rome. He was Edomite, but he was under Rome, and he was the one that pursued and went into Bethlehem and killed all the kids 2 and under. And then we fast forward. Rome still in play when it was time for the atonement to be made from our Messiah. And I did say atonement, because that's what it was. It was not it was literally a sacrifice, atonement sacrifice. to cleanse
Run.
our sins of our past and for the future, because the Most High already knew, and this was the only sacrifice that was acceptable
Hey, I had to go.
for
I had to go.
Father Yah,
Not you.
that will allow us to be redeemed,
No.
also
You should
to
stay out here.
open the door for
Wait,
the
I
entire
saw
world
some candy.
to be redeemed.
Yeah.
So the time that's coming is going to be the time of testing.
Guys, hurry up
When
and
they're in
take it.
trials and tribulation, that's what it's called. Well, they used to call it in church, but it's the
Mama,
time of
take your
testing for the
supper.
entire world.
Good girl.
But those that regard
Woo.
the instructions, which they call the law, but it's the instructions
Come on now. No.
that
And you can't wear
the
mom.
Messiah have given us since the beginning of time. But we regard that are
That's what you say.
going to be saved from that time of testing.
Tomorrow.
And
It's gonna be days.
it's the truth.
Tomorrow.
It's the truth. So
tomorrow.
the Most High
tomorrow
know
again.
who.
Oh,
what.
tomorrow.
But this is
No.
what's going on, and I can
No.
prove that, and then I'm gonna go.
No!
Cut it out, y'all. Cut it out.
John keeps annoying me.
Well, you keep annoying me.
No, Mommy, he said tomorrow, and tomorrow. I said no.
Okay.
And it's
Okay.
no,
Okay.
John.
We
Guess
are
what?
at.
It's one day.
Okay. At Revelations 3, it say, I know your works. See, I have set before you an open
Wait,
door,
I found something.
and no
Look.
one is able to shut
I
it.
was already done.
That you have little power, yet
was done.
have guarded
Check this
my
out.
word.
Check
The word of the Most High
No.
is His instructions. These
That's
scriptures
it. I
are
have enough.
instructions.
You got enough on
And have not denied my name. And this,
Javin
Is-
takes Mama, look.
the Messiah. You see, the Messiah is the word. He said, guarded my word and have not denied my name. And this
18.
is
19.
the Messiah.
John, stop.
Because if you deny
I said
the
stop.
Messiah,
You
you
heard me
deny
say
the
stop.
Father. So you can't be one side and say, "Oh, I'm all about Father Yah, but I don't
Yahuwah?
believe in no Messiah." So it don't work like that. It's not gonna happen. He said, "See, I am giving up those of the congregation of Satan, who say they are Yahudim and are not, but lie." And see that in the regular translation they say Jews, because that's what they call themselves. But Jews is a by name, a byword for the Yahudim,
John, but not that
for
one.
Yahuda.
No.
Because they created, the Vatican created the J, and they put everything that had the Y in it in our scriptures. They changed it to a J. That's why you had Jerusalem, Judah, all that. That's what they did. So the Yahudim and are not, but lie. See, I am making them come and worship before your feet, and to know that I have loved you. You hear that, Israel? He said, I have loved you because you have guarded my word of endurance. I also shall guard you from the hour of trial, which shall come upon all the world to try those who live and dwell on the earth. I'm going to read that one more time. Because you have guarded my word of endurance, I also shall guard you from the hour of trial, which shall
No, we did not.
come upon all
Jump.
the
Cross
world
your fingers.
to try
Cross your
those who dwell on the earth. See, I am coming speedily. Hold what you have, that no one takes your crown. So don't get distracted. Don't turn left. Don't turn right. Stay on that path.
This ain't that.
And
Mario, Luigi,
So
I am.
that
Want me to
was
break
that was
yours?
the reference to
I
the
can break
protection we'll have when all this craziness go down, because it's
I
gonna
can
go
break this
down.
one. Mom, you
It's
looking
gonna
for
go
this
down.
one? Yeah.
So with that being
too late.
said,
No,
shalom.
no,
I hope this
no.
this edified whoever it needed to
No,
edify,
don't
and
rip it.
just
I
get to
am.
the scriptures, y'all.
Okay, fine.
Bye.